The Sugga is an altar set in the home of the person still practicing Hmong shamanism. It would typically be adorned with joss paper, incense sticks, chicken feathers, and various items to honor the spirits of wealth and protection to safeguard your home. However, not many know how the Sugga came to be. Today, we will be learning about the origins of the Sugga. There once was a time when a king used to rule over the lands of the Hmong people. He was a greedy king who took all the resources from the land and his people. Thus, the people of the lands were impoverished and unable to make a living for themselves, except one person. This person was very gifted and talented in business, farming, and spirituality. Everything they did was always successful, making him and his family influential and prosperous. His name was Sugga. Sugga's success continued to flourish until his death, unable to pass his knowledge unto his only son Beiseng before passing. Without his father's valuable knowledge, Beiseng and his family would go on to live a miserable and poor life. Now a middle-aged man, Beiseng worked day and night to earn a meager living. One day, exhausted from working in the fields, he lit a candle and called out to his father, saying, "Please help me, Father. Teach me your talents and tell me how you achieved a prosperous life." That night, Beiseng had a dream where his father appeared before him. Sugga told him, "Son, I need you to go gather 3 items: a candle, a white egg, and a red egg. After you collect everything, go and set up the items on an altar in the heart of the house." Beiseng awakened from his dream and thought to himself, what a bizarre dream. Is this my father's way of teaching me? Thinking little of it, he brushed it off and continued with his daily task. After he fed the cows and pigs, it was now time to feed the chickens. Astonished, he found that one of his hens had actually laid 2 eggs, one white and one red. Taking this as a sign, Beiseng heeded his father's words. He set the eggs aside and then built an altar in the heart of his home. On the altar, Beiseng placed the 2 eggs and lit a candle. However, a gust of wind blew past the bamboo walls and put out the candle. Noticing this, Beiseng hung a piece of paper behind the altar to protect the candle from the draught. Since crafting the altar, Beiseng and his family's life improved greatly. Like his father, Beiseng developed talent, wealth, and success. Even his own son, Meng, who many revered as a prodigy, was skilled and unparalleled in all aspects. The king, though, envious of Beiseng's wealth, sent his soldiers to steal the altar. However, Meng, who possessed a magical red cape that made him impervious to weapons, would always defeat the soldiers. Waves of the king's soldiers would return injured and defeated. Frustrated, the king hatched a plan with his daughter Jia. She would disguise herself to win over Meng's heart. After years of deceiving Meng, Jia sent word to her father that the plans were set in motion. So, that day came as the soldiers' arrows rained down. Meng rushed out and donned his cape to shelter his father and Jia. But with his back turned, Jia took this opportunity to attack him from behind. The king had finally eliminated his competition. But with both Meng and Beiseng gone, there was no one left to instruct the king how to use the Sugga. Fortunately, for the king, there was still someone left, Lao Ye, Lao Ye was an orphan who was graciously taken under the wings of Hmong and Bei Sen. They taught him everything they knew about Sugga. When informed about this, the king found and imprisoned Lao Ye. The king offered his freedom only if he would teach him about the Sugga. With no choice, Lao Ye was forced to share Sugga's teachings with the king. After the king, Lao Ye would then go on and teach others as well. This origin story gives us further insight into how and why the Sugga is set up in practice the way that it is today. When elders call upon the spirits, you can hear them mention Sugga, Bei Sen, Hmong, and Lao Ye. These four spirits of the household that bring protection and wealth into your home and life.